Okay, well, we've got Bianca, Claire, Donna, Karen. Oh, you're all coming in too fast now for me to keep up with your names. So, hi, everyone. Everyone's, oh, it's all too much for me now. Oh, you're going too fast. Anyway, hello to everyone.
Yeah, we've got 16 attendees.
Yeah, we'll be starting soon, guys. We're just waiting for everyone just to come in. Hi, everyone. All these lovely people on chat saying hello to us. Hello. Welcome. We'll be starting very shortly. Oh, you're such a friendly lot. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, so nice to see you guys joining us today. Fantastic. Well done. I can't keep up with everybody that's coming in, but I can see you're here.
Okay, we are up to 70 people already, so I think we'll get started.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Nice to meet you all. Today we will have a very interesting and informative session on the power of data visualization with Sean and Linda. Let me quickly introduce Sean and Linda to you. Sean is the data specialist and Centaur's head of product and innovation with over 19 years experience as a data and business intelligence analyst in the Australian dental industry. And Linda is the Centaur consulting lead with years of experience in training and consulting in dental industry. I'm sure you all will enjoy today's webinar with Sean and Linda. Over to you, Linda.
Thanks, Mona. I get to do the little bit of housekeeping that we're going to do today. And one of it is we're going to have a little bit of different way of doing our webinar today, a little bit more interaction. And you might see down in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you can see a QR code. We're going to use this is the way you're going to interact with us today. So if you've got your mobile phone, if you want to scan that QR code, and then you can see a code 3354, enter that code there. If you don't have your mobile phone, we've got backups for you. You can go into your browser and just put in the medi.com and then enter the code. Or if you look into our chat, Sean did put in the link there to click on the link and put it in your browser and put in the code there as well. So I'm going to join this with you guys because I'm going to get on here so you can see how this all works today. There we get going. So everyone's wonderful. I'm just going to get mine up. Okay. Oh, we're getting there, Sean. Everyone's getting excited. Oh, this is exciting stuff. We're going to show you this. This is our interactions that we have here today that we're going on. Okay, we're getting quite a few there, Sean.
Yeah, I think
we can go.
Started, yes.
Okay. So now, guys, Now you'll find on your mobile phone or on your browser, it'll come up on your screen. It says, who's here today? So now we just need you to enter what you hear. Now I'm just going to enter me so you can see how this all works. Oh, look at Angie. Good on you, Angie. Oh, look at everybody. Yeah. If you don't want to put your name, you guys can put, if you're the practice manager, if you're the owner, or you're the jack of all trades, you can put all your responses in there. If you're a little bit shy and don't want to put in your name, but look at these ones. They're very quick off the mark to put in their messages there. So now you'll leave your mobile phone on that open today, because each time Sean puts up a slide, there will be a different interaction that you will need today. So keep that your phone close to you, and that's going to be our way of communicating and getting through today there as well. And obviously, if you've got questions or you want chat, you can also do that through the Zoom. But this is our interaction little section that I think you guys are going to enjoy today that we have on board. There. So I think, Sean, looks like everyone's a little bit shy to start with, but I think they'll get the hang of what we're doing. So I might hand it over to you now and we'll get this started.
Fantastic. Thank you, Linda, and thank you, Mona. Once again, thank you for everyone for giving up your time to join us today. We are going to talk about some very practical data visualization concepts today. So before we go any further, let's talk about understanding data visualization. What is data visualization? That is the first question. So the simplest explanation of data visualization, according to the MIT, is drawing graphic displays to show data. Essentially, anything you can see in data, you can represent that in a graphic. So that becomes your data visualization. So what are the benefits of data visualization? So the first one has to do with being able to absorb data, vast amount of data quickly. And as a result of it, increase the speed of decision-making, identify errors and inaccuracies in data quickly. For example, if you hadn't recorded, a big payment for a particular day, and if there is a dip, then you will see that you haven't done it. Same, solving data inefficiencies. If you don't have enough data to make a decision for a particular month, you can look at the trend for previous months and still make your business decision accordingly. And also, you can visually monitor the effectiveness of your business strategy, your data-driven business strategy, by looking at visualizations and zoom into areas that require attention and assist in analyzing business trends. And also, we'll get to this a little bit later, but you can really create a story or curate a story about your practice using your data. So these are the benefits. And there is, when we are talking about this, why data visualization is important, there is a very interesting brain fact that I'd like to share with you. The human brain can process visual images 60,000 times faster than text. That is because visual representation of data is more comfortable for the brain to process than reading and comprehending text, then converting that into a mental visualization that may or may not be accurate. So a lot of theory in this part, but let's look at a practical example. And Linda is going to illustrate something for you right now.
Okay, guys, I'm going to get you to either close your eyes, and I'm going to read a text out for you, and I want you to visualize it. Now, if you guys think you're going to go into a meditation trance by closing your eyes and me giving you some words to picture, you can actually just look at the words that come up on the screen. So as they come up, I would like you to start visualizing, and what do you see? So On this early misty morning, animals surrounded the water's edge. Just near some rocks sat 4 white sheep. Behind them was a tree trunk with new branches sprouting. In the middle ground were 6 cows, 4 brown, 2 black. A lady was sitting on a white horse and 2 boys amongst the cattle. And in the distance sit several tall sailboats. So what's your visualization of that? What are you picturing of that picture that you have? What are you coming up with what I've just said?
We'll give you about 20 seconds, have another read through, and create a visualization in your head. All right, are we ready, Linda?
We're ready. Now, guys, is this what you pictured? So now we're going to ask you, how close were you to this picture? Were you spot on, or were you full of, all your images were full of stick people? So this is where you go to our little Mentimeter again, and you'll have the next question, and you can put in there what your response was to that. Were you spot on? Oh, look at that. We've got our imaginations coming through.
Wonderful.
So we're sort of hitting the middle spot. So we've got a few people with a good imagination coming through here, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this really reiterates what we were saying before. The mental visualization is not always entirely accurate or complete. So just seeing some numbers on a piece of paper versus seeing that in a graphical dashboard is a completely different way of comprehending this. So thank you for the responses, everyone. So this is really, it highlights what we are talking about here. So now let's get into some interesting conversations. So if you are thinking about doing some data visualizations yourself, there are 3 key ingredients that we would recommend to anyone. So the first one is disciplined data entry. As you can see in my little image, garbage in, garbage out. So if you are not consistent in your data entry, if you're not accurate or complete, your data and then in turn your visualizations are going to suffer. Once you have the correct data in your system, the second thing you need is intermediate Microsoft Excel skills. So you have some sort of an idea on how to manipulate data within an Excel spreadsheet and create different visualizations. And last but not least, for this context today, we are talking about Dental for Windows reports, particularly the export feature. You can export almost any report in Dental for Windows. So if we're ready to get our hands dirty, let's, before we go to the next point, I've got another question for you. How would you rate your Excel knowledge? So 1 being novice and 10 being guru. So I'd like to get a bit of an idea of the, everyone's rating. So good. Fantastic. So 4.8, anywhere between 4 and 6 is intermediate knowledge. So I'm very happy to hear that, because the next part we are going to talk about will make sense to a lot of people in the room about using Excel to create some visualizations. Thank you for your responses. Now let's move on to some examples of do-it-yourself data visualizations. We will have, obviously, people with different Excel skills in the room, but using this, we will be looking at some examples. The operative word here is that these are simply examples and they are by no means an exhaustive list, but just to illustrate what we can do with the data that you already have in your Dell for Windows systems. So for this examples, we will be looking at 5 key areas of your practice management system data. So we will be looking at production, collection, new patients, cancellations, and treatment plans. So let's dive in. First one, production. So the first cab off the rank. For this, let's have, in the cooking theme, I put the word recipe up there. And the first ingredient is D4W reports. So for this, you need your accounting, invoices and receipts over a period, items and basic financials without adjustments export, and work time analysis. And the second ingredient is Excel wizardry. I use the word wizardry here, but these are very simple functions, but just to make the recipe look good, I just call them wizardry. If you are an intermediate Excel user, you may already be familiar with VLOOKUPs and pivot charts. So once we put all that together, so the first step, running these reports and exporting them into CSV or Excel format, and then importing them into an Excel spreadsheet, and using these little features, we can get something like this. So once again, these are just examples. So production by age group, production by gender, production by treatment type, production per hour. So there are so many other things that you can do. You can create visualizations for using the same 2 features in Excel, but using some more reports. Again, if you are running these reports regularly at your practice, you would be in the best position to say, these are the reports I need to create my visualizations. And now we are going to collections. So now you know the format. The first one is Dell for Windows reports. For this, we are going to use accounting, invoices and receipts over a period, and total receipts with providers. From the Excel side, we are going to use VLOOKUPs, a pivot chart, and one more feature called slices. Those who know Excel will know that that is a rather simple feature in Excel, and we can create something like this. So we've got a column chart that shows collection by month for a 12-month period. And we've got a pie chart that shows us different payment methods for that period. On the far left, we have a slicer which allows us to select different providers. You can look at a few providers together or just look at individual providers. So that's our collections. As I said again, this is not exhaustive. This is an example. You can even look at collection by day of the week, or collection by each day of the month. And now we're going to new patient analysis. For this, we're only going to use 2 reports: new patient names and new patients report. And Excel, we are keeping with the theme VLOOKUPs and pivot charts, and we can end up with something like this. So information like this can be very handy to collate and visualize at your practice, because depending on your marketing efforts, you might say, I'd like to see referral source by age group and how many patients did I get in that particular period. And also your new patient trend. If you have a particular business strategy that focuses on new patients, this is a good one that you can do for your practice. And cancellations. For this, we are only using 1 report, that is items and basic financials without adjustments report export. But there is a caveat: your D4W must be configured to automatically add FTAs and UTAs to treatment. It is a very standard setting. If you haven't got that enabled at your practice, give our support team a call. They'll be very happy to implement that for you. Once again, we are using VLOOKUP and pivot charts. Now we can look at cancellations by month and cancellations by gender and how they vary from month to month. You know, when you look at the first one, it is a column chart, and second one is a clustered column chart. And then you can even look at the age groups and their cancellation types. So at this practice, if I read my colors correctly, Linda, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think 31 to 40 are the serial cancelers.
Yes.
All right, so the final one is treatment plans. So for this one, for this example, we're only using the treatment plan status report. And we use the same VLOOKUP and pivot chart to arrive at something like this: treatment plan presented, treatment plan status at any given time, active treatment plans at your practice. So the whole purpose of this part of the exercise was just to show you how much you can already do with a little bit of Excel knowledge and using the powerful reports that you already have in Dental for Windows.
Okay, Sean, so I found that very fascinating, and it seemed like a lot of information that you've got there. But could you give us the pros and cons in doing it by doing DY, doing it yourself? Can you elaborate on that for us, Sean?
Absolutely. So the pros are doing your own, what we discussed just then. It's relatively inexpensive because Excel is a part of any Office package that you get these days. Even the basic package comes with Excel, and whatever the insights you find can be tailored for your practice. You're not tied to 20 different metrics that you may not be using. You're looking at what is applicable to your practice, and you can insert images for personalization. That's a really handy part. If you're doing it for one of your clinicians, you can even have an image of their face, or any other image. You can create your own formulas to suit your, for example, a good example of this is if you say, when I calculate my inactive patients at my practice, I don't use the traditional 18-month period. I use a 16-month period with a 2-month buffer. So you can create the formula to suit your needs, and then In addition to all that, you can use simple analytical tools and advanced analytical tools that Excel already comes with. And the cons are the data is static, as in it depends on when you export the data. So if you are to export it every week, then that's, the data is going to be static for another week until you do another extraction. And you also need to need a bit of an understanding of how metrics are calculated. I'll get to that in a bit, and then it requires you to learn Excel. And also it is time consuming. It can be time consuming unless it is a hobby of yours to collate data and create visuals. So just the time value of, the value of your time needs to be considered as well. And then obviously prone to human errors. So it really depends on you being super careful about which clinicians' data you're exporting, which clinicians' data you're importing into a particular visualization. So that takes me to the topic of business intelligence. People that who have attended our previous webinars would know we have touched on some of these in the past. We talked a lot of theory. If you haven't watched those webinars, we highly recommend that you go to our blog on our website and watch those webinars. But let's touch on a few things here to do with business intelligence that relates to data visualization. So what is business intelligence? It is a technology-driven process for analyzing historical and current data, visualizing information, this is an important one, and uncovering actionable insights to help make strategic business decisions. So at its core, it's about looking at your previous performance through charts, graphs, and tables that allow you to understand how to plan for the future based on historical trends of your practice. So the business intelligence can be looked at as telling the story of your business with data. So we were talking about data storytelling as a benefit of data visualization. So you can look at business intelligence the same way. Here we have a very simple visual representation of what it takes to tell the story of your practice comprehensively and accurately with the power of data. So the first one, I'm using Legos here. The first one is data collection, which is what we talked about before, exporting from your practice management system and any other data collection systems that you have, and data preparation, getting it all ready like we did with our importing into Excel and creating our VLOOKUPs and all that, and data visualization. So typically, these three steps are automatically done for you in business intelligence systems. But that is not enough. To be able to tell your story comprehensively, you need data analysis. So this part, we will touch on this again a bit later. Data analysis, you don't need to be a data expert. It's just to be able to understand what the data is telling you. And finally, with that understanding, using business intelligence, you can create stories about your practice using data.
Okay, Sean, now this one is one that fascinates me, and I get this asked a lot, and I think people get confused between what is reporting and what's business intelligence. So are you able to give us a differentiation between what's reporting and what's business intelligence?
Absolutely, Linda. So reporting can be looked at as two-dimensional, whereas business intelligence, or even dashboards, if you look at them, are multidimensional. So for example, reporting, you would have, if you're looking at a practitioner's production, it would show you the practitioner's name and their production for that period. Whereas business intelligence dashboards can give you that multi-dimensional view, whereas it can show you the practitioner, the revenue rates, and even by treatment categories. And you can even say, are those patients new or existing patients? And then using the same kind of approach, reporting is single-layered, whereas business intelligence is multi-layered. Reporting data is displayed in lists that you really need to read and comprehend and create that mental visualization, whereas business intelligence shows you data in dashboards. Reporting, snapshot from a specific point in time. Think about running a report in Dell for Windows and exporting that. That is just a snapshot of where your practice was at that particular time. And business intelligence is an analysis of trends over time. And reporting is data from your database. Business intelligence is data transformed from your database. So this word transform, let's talk about that in a minute as well. We've got a few things that we'd like to talk to you about with regards to transforming data and simple data relationships, clinician name, production, complex data relationships, clinician names, production, referral sources, revenue, patient numbers, all sorts. And reporting is vital for making operational decisions, and business intelligence is vital for making strategic decisions. In the simplest sense, reports give you numbers, but BI gives you the context by explaining the numbers quickly and easily, so you can not only understand your business better, but get the insights to take meaningful actions to improve. So Linda, I'm now going to give an example of reporting versus business intelligence again. Imagine you would like to find out the effectiveness of marketing channels by treatment category for new patients. So here we are asking 3 questions. We're looking at 3 dimensions: marketing channels, treatment categories, and patient type. If you were to do this using reports, you have to do 3 things. Run a report to find the production amount for the marketing channels, run a report to find the production amount for treatment categories, and run a report to find the new patients. Let's say you have these reports, they're still 2-dimensional. It does not give you the answer you're looking for unless you manipulate that, like we did with our DIY data visualization using Excel. And for most people, for busy professional, that could be the effort it takes to gain insights from reports, can be a bit frustrating and time consuming. On the other hand, business intelligence, the multidimensional nature, lets us look at it from that 3-dimensional view. So we've got marketing channels, treatment category, and patient type. And to find the effectiveness, we are looking at one numeric observation, which is production. So this, for example, gives you production amount for new patients referred by Google who had diagnostic treatment. So that is the theory. How would it look in practice? So here we have, instead of running multiple reports, business intelligence can give you that information. The new patient production for Google referred patients who had a diagnostic treatment. So instead of having to run multiple reports, this is a good way to save time and have that work done for you in the background, so you can look at the data analysis and data storytelling stages of your business decision-making process.
Okay, well, Sean, we're going to come up to our Centaur's Mythbusters. So we're going to decide what's a myth and what's a fact. Don't worry, Sean's not going to do anything dangerous, experiments or whatever to do this. So rest assured he'll be safe. So we're going to throw some questions at him and he's going to tell if it's a myth or a fact. So Sean.
All right.
So our first Mythbuster number 1, Sean, is only data experts can make sense of business intelligence. Can you elaborate that for us?
Absolutely. So I've got a few answers here, Linda. So data experts design and create business intelligence dashboards that are designed to be simple and easy to understand, and also to tell a story. The visualization tells you a story, and that story is about your business, and you are the expert on your business. No one knows your business better than you. So to make sense of BI, you don't need to be a data expert. All you need to know is what makes your business tick.
Okay, so Mythbuster number 2, Sean, practice management software should include business intelligence.
Interestingly, Linda, we get asked this question quite a bit in your training sessions, consulting sessions, and also when I go out and speak to our users, they often say Delta Windows should have business intelligence built into it. So let's talk about that a bit. Practice management systems are operational systems, and they help you run your practice. Business management systems, on the other hand, are strategic systems. They help you strategically drive your business. So business intelligence system is a business management system. Let me show you with an example. Here, what we are looking at is what happens in the background with business intelligence systems. It looks at scattered databases or data sources, and then what we call the ETL process is where it extracts the data, transforms them using business rules, and load into analytics-ready tables. So this is typically done in a mass production type environment called data warehouses, and that's only when you can see business intelligence dashboards. So practice management systems aren't equipped to do serious analytics. I often tell people it's like expecting a firefighter to use a garden hose to put out a building fire, or even using a bicycle to tow a boat, because it is not equipped to do that, Linda.
That's a good one. I like the way you explained that one, Sean. So let's get to our Mythbuster number 3. So your practice management systems reports provide sufficient information to strategically drive your business.
Yes. So your practice management system reports are ideal for your day-to-day running of the practice and your operational excellence. They lack data visualizations and multi-dimensional views to be able to identify patterns and create that laser focus. And as we saw before, gaining insights from practice management system reports alone requires a significant effort, whereas business intelligence does the slicing and dicing behind the scenes. We talked about this cube before. And what you see in business intelligence is ready for comprehension, and actionable insights really come from being able to touch, feel, and see the data to see where your business is going.
So our Mythbuster number 4, business intelligence is just a fad that will dissipate in a few years. Do you agree, Sean?
Not at all. So I am going to show you a graph with global data growth and the forecasted amount of data growth for the next 2 years. So by 2025, we are going to have 175 zettabytes of data. A zettabyte is 1 trillion gigabytes or 1 billion terabytes. So the global data volume is growing exponentially, and the only way to make sense of mass volumes of data is analytics. Business intelligence in the global dental space has become a must-have. 1 in 3 dental clinics in North America and 1 in 4 in Europe use analytics. And interestingly enough, the Australian GP market uses 1 in 7 medical GPs use business intelligence. So we often follow the global market in the dental industry a few years later. So BI is here to stay. And Linda, soon it'll be the rule, not the exception.
Sounds good, Sean.
All right. So now we are going to look at whether you are an analytics novice or know a little bit about analytics. You may be wondering how and where you can start your analytics journey. So in this section, we're going to talk about very simple steps that you can take today, not only to start the analytics journey, but also to enjoy success once you're on your way. So before we get to that, we've got one last question for you. What metrics are important to you? So we'll give you a minute to give your answers and tell us what your practice finds important. I know it is going to take a little bit of time because I'm doing it with you as well, because there are 10 choices. So let's have a look at that and just submit when you're ready. That'll give us a bit of an idea about what people are thinking.
Well, we've always hit the road running with the treatment conversion. Well, here it's coming through, Sean. Now we've got production, rebook rate, expenses.
Fantastic. Great. So
Well,
if you're still finishing this,
yeah,
keep them coming.
She's juggling around. Look at that. First place, I've got to feel like I'm at the races. First place is now rebook rate. Coming in the second is treatment conversion. Oh, now third place is production. Oh, neck and neck production and new patients. Oh, very interesting.
So
Interesting
this
outcome,
is
isn't
another,
it?
yeah, this is another example of data visualization. Rather than us getting you to just type that into the chat, doing something like this, you can really see what people are thinking. It is changing. Look at this, it is changing. So thank you everyone for filling that out. And let's start talking about, it's still changing, right?
It's really shuffle around.
Yeah, let's start talking about the embarking on the analytics journey part. We got a bit of a twist here this time as well, but let's go to this topic. Linda's got someone you'd like, that she'd like you to meet.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce, this is like a little case study we had here with Dr. Miriam. So this is Dr. Miriam we've known, and she came to us for some assistance. And so basically the background of Dr. Miriam is that she's 39 years of age. She has 2 young children. She's a dentist, but owns the practice. And the practice consists of 3 chairs, and she's in the inner city location. So this is the background knowledge of Dr. Miriam that we have. So now embarking on her analytic journey.
Yes. So with that in mind, Dr. Miriam's background, I was a bit distracted. I just saw someone in the list that I know who I owe a LinkedIn message to. So sorry, Brock, I will get back to you one of these days. So preparation. So when we look at the data analytics journey, we look at it from 3 different steps: preparation, implementation, and maintenance. So for preparation, there are a few things that we recommend that you do. Understanding what practice growth means for your business. Identify where in the business life cycle your business is at, and then write down the business strategy based on your growth ambitions, and then set your goals based on the business strategy. And last but not least, check to make sure your goals are SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely.
Okay, so we go back to Dr. Miriam working on that preparation that Sean was talking about, and you can see her define practice growth, but the ones that she really wanted to focus on was a higher production and a higher hourly rate. And then we also wanted to check how was she in her life cycle with her business life cycle, and she's at the growth stage. So with this information, how do we go, Sean? So from this here, we found that her business strategy was high value practice with a better work-life balance. Then she set a goal. She said within the next 12 months, she would like to see an 18% increase in her practice hourly rate. She would also like to see 15% increase in her monthly practice monthly production. And she would also like to gain back 2 hours per week in personal time. So how do we go about that one, Sean?
Okay, so that is your preparation. So Dr. Miriam did a great deal of preparation, understanding, talking to business consultants to see where in the business life cycle she is at and her business strategy and her goals. And so that is the first step. And the second step is implementation. For today's webinar, I'm going to talk about 2 ways of implementing this. 1, using business intelligence. 2, using your do-it-yourself Excel. They are both equally important. So let's talk about them both. So if you're looking at a BI system, you've got to look at that and make sure it is specific to the dental industry. It works in harmony with your practice management system. It is non-prescriptive. It can tailor insights to your business. It can be scaled with your practice, and it allows you to set goals and track them. And finally, this is a bonus feature. It allows you to benchmark yourself against your peers. But if you look at going down the Excel pathway, there are a few things that we recommend. Learn basic Excel. YouTube is a fantastic resource, and there are courses like 5-6 hour courses or half-an-hour courses that teach you how to do basic to intermediate operations in Excel, and identify your key metrics. This is very important. They say when you measure everything, you measure nothing. So just identify what is important for your business, and then learn how to calculate these metrics. And internet is a great source if you are working out and if you're trying to see how do I calculate my hourly production. I'm just giving you a very basic example. What is the calculation for that? Or my patient retention, what is a good way to calculate patient retention? And then select your D4W reports based on your metrics and how you're going to calculate that. You can select your D4W reports and decide how often you're going to do your reports. You need to be disciplined to be able to do that. If you're going to do it every week or every month, you need to do it at the same time, same date every month to be disciplined and clean up your data entry. That I cannot overstate that. Your data needs to be super clean, especially if you are going to do analytics and visualizations yourself. And finally, keep expanding your Excel knowledge, even if it means half an hour a week, you get on YouTube and look at a video that shows you a particular operation, for example, VLOOKUPs. So that is your implementation part.
So getting back to Dr. Miriam, working on what we have sat down with her, and she decided, no, didn't want to do it DIY. She wanted to select her own analytical pathway. And so she chose Dental BI to help her reach those goals that she was achieving. So with that Dental BI.
Yes, and just to add to that, one of the things Dr. Miriam said was, I'm trying to save 2 hours to spend with my family. So the last thing I want to do is, go and do my own analytics. So the third step is maintenance. So there are a few things we recommend here as well. Check the alignment of your KPIs against your business strategy. Is it still relevant? And understand the impact data-driven insights have on shaping your business strategy. For example, if the data is telling you your most lucrative patient segment is your existing patients, should you still be spending all that money on your new patients? That's an example. And keep checking to see if your goals are still applicable. You may decide to change your goals slightly to respond to what the data is telling you, and monitor how analytics can influence your day-to-day operations. A classic example of that is practices that have had a lot of cancellations on a particular day at a particular time. They tend to book either low production items for that time or tend to collect a deposit for those particular appointments, just to make sure that the impact is low on the business. And finally, no amount of analytics can help you if you are not taking action based on the analytics insights. So hold yourself accountable to action those insights. And finally, Dr. Miriam.
So Dr. Miriam, after 12 months later, so after having all these implementations, finally her hourly rate increased by 37%. So her goal was 18%. So we went above and beyond there. Overall monthly production increased by 26%. Her goal was only 15%. So we've done really well. And this one, I think we all would love to have. Extra half a day off per week for Dr. Miriam. Her goal was 2 hours. We gave her extra half hour. So if you really would like to find out more about Dr. Miriam or even Dental BI, if you actually just scan that QR code, you'll be able to be get in touch and be given more information about Dr. Miriam and Dental BI. But wouldn't you all like to get those results?
Absolutely, Linda. I know we are almost at the tail end of our webinar. If you have any questions, by all means, please put that in the chat or Q&A. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have.
And Mona's also too, if you can't get the QR code, she has put a link into the chat too for you if you want to.
You can submit your information and book a demo for Dental BI.
Okay, so okay, so we've got a question here, Sean. Can you submit your information via the above link? Yes, we should be able to. Is that Mona? It's for more from Mona.
I think Mona is saying that. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can book a demo. Yeah, sorry, Mona. I'm just passing it on.
That's okay.
We don't have.
No, we got a question here.
Yep. That's a great question. Yes, you can export all your Dental for Windows reports. And when you go to export, it gives you multiple formats. But for this, for the context of this, I would recommend exporting them as CSV files, because you can very easily import them back into Excel for data manipulation. Okay, do we have any more questions?
Hold on, we've got another one coming. Oh no, it's just thank you. Our pleasure.
Absolutely.
Got excited with that, saw a message come up. Yeah, if anyone's got a question, yeah, just put it in chat or the Q&A and we'll endeavour to answer them for you. Oh, we've got another one here. Can I pre-format what gets exported to Excel, Sean?
With this, no, because it exports Dental for Windows report content almost as is. But the beauty of Excel is you can have little routines. If you were to go and Google or YouTube, just look at data transformation in Excel, it's not that advanced, but you can say, I would like to drop this column, I'd like to format this column in this particular way, and you can have that saved. So every time you import that particular report, you can have it automatically formatted exactly how you would like to be receiving at your Excel end.
Oh, that's great, Sean. Thank you.
Great. Looks like either we have answered all the questions as we went along, or there are too many questions to ask. And if you have any other questions, what's the best report way to understand patient treatment conversions? Now that is a bit of a curly one, Brock, because it depends on how you use your treatment plans in your Dental for Windows. Some practices religiously use your treatment plan status. So you got your none, presented, accepted, rejected, completed. So if you are using that, then your treatment plan status report is the best one to see how people convert their treatment plans. But if it is just a matter of, people use just to see inactive, active, and that's it, then it would be the best one for that would be treatment completion report. So this is, I'm going from memory, the names of the reports. Let me quickly look that up, the exact name of the report. So, yeah, so but essentially, it really depends on how you work, but I'm happy to have a conversation on what would work for your practice based on how you use Dental for Windows.
Thanks for Sean. That's very informative. Thank you so much.
No worries. And then, yes, and then we have our, treatment incomplete report, treatment plan acceptance report, but based on how you do it, we'll be able to tailor it for your business. All right. I think, Linda, everyone has finished asking questions.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the webinar, and I hope it takes you've got enough information to go away to decide what you're going to do next.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thank you, everybody.
We will send you a follow-up email, including webinar recording, so that you can record whenever you want. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.